Hello everyone. I'm pretty sure that many of you guys will be tax consultants. Some of you guys will be, part of tax teams handling tax compliances, GST filings for your own company. Many of you will be GST officers who will be dealing with multiple notices with, the taxpayers. Many officers will be behind taxpayers for filing of their GST returns and payment of taxes. Now, as a tax consultant, in last 3 4 years since the introduction of GST law, there have been multiple changes on a regular basis. Now, there have been multiple technical glitches. बहुत सारे GST के extensions आ रहे हैं. नई नई provisions on a regular basis introduce हो रही है. Now, overall, because of that, if you observe that in entire month, we as well as our team has been completely busy in जीएसटी compliances जो procedural aspects है कि जीएसटीआर 1 10 तारीख को फाइल करो, फिर जीएसटीआर 2A के रिकंसिलिएशन के ऊपर काम शुरू करो, then ultimately file your जीएसटीआर 3B and then go for all the reconciliation, the GST returns and financials. Now, because of this procedural aspects, what's happening is that we as well as our team members are missing on actual GST law perspective that I believe that many of you guys may not be aware recently जीएसटी में क्या changes आए हुए हैं या फिर कुछ जीएसटी की provisions आई है, then what is the exact purpose of that provision. So considering this, I thought of having a series wherein we'll try to discuss about one provision of GST at a time. We'll try to discuss and explain it in a simplified and lucid manner so that we as well as our team members will be completely aware of that one specific provision. Okay, so today the purpose is to discuss one critical rule which is related to ITC, that is Rule 86B. So let's try to understand what is Rule 86B. Okay, now Rule 86B, what was the purpose of introducing this rule? Now, Rule 86B was introduced in Rather, it was effective from January 2021. Now, since the inception of GST law, it has been observed that there have been multiple non-genuine dealers, because of whom there have been ITC refund scams or ITC scams which were happening. अभी बहुत सारे न्यूज़पेपर्स में न्यूज़ चैनल्स में आपने पढ़ा रहेगा कि ऑफिसर ने 100 करोड़ का जीएसटी रिफंड का स्कैम पकड़ा गया. Somebody has been arrested because of a GST refund scam. Now, because of this, overall, what happened was that the GST departmental officers and the government, from their perspective, have started looking at ITC provisions from more of a suspicious angle because they have had certain bad experiences and it has actually impacted GST revenue collection. So, अगर आपने लास्ट 2 3 साल में आईटीसी रिलेटेड कोई भी अमेंडमेंट अगर ऑब्जर्व की रहेगी, then that specific amendment has made ITC provisions more watertight. I'm pretty sure अभी तक कोई ITC related ऐसी provision है ही नहीं which has actually made ITC compliance simple. Day by day ITC में जो भी changes आ रहे हैं, they are just making ITC mechanism more and more complex. I'm pretty sure department has their own perspective, but on the other hand, it's becoming quite complex. It's totally against ease of doing business. Rule 86B भी एक similar provision है. Now, in a nutshell, Rule 86B ये कहता है कि if there is any taxpayer whose taxable supplies in a particular month is more than 50 lakh rupees other than exempt and export supplies, then Rule 86B will be applicable to him. Now, अगर आपका टर्नओवर 50 लाख से ज्यादा है and Rule 86B आपको applicable हो गया, then as per this rule, while discharging your GST liability, you need to pay at least 1% liability by way of cash ledger. So basically, up to 99% of your liability, you can utilize your balance in your ITC ledger, but at least 1% you will have to discharge your liability by utilizing your balance in cash ledger. The department is trying to have watch on all the non-genuine taxpayers because अगर कोई भी fake company है, then probably Rule 86B will be applicable and they'll have to discharge at least 1% tax liability, and probably they'll get caught in this overall tax evasion. Now, one important aspect to be noted down about this provision is that this provision is having an overriding effect on all other provisions of CGST rules. So this rule will override all other provisions which are there in CGST rules. Now, since the purpose of this provision was to keep a watch on non-genuine taxpayers, of course, department thought of having certain carve-outs. So basically, they wanted to provide certain exceptions कि जिन्हें ये rule applicable नहीं होगा. अभी ये exceptions क्या है? So basically, the purpose of this exception is that because of this rule, जो actual genuine taxpayers है, they should not be burdened. Now, the overall scenario which department has defined was that ये रूल किसको एप्लीकेबल नहीं होगा. सो बेसिकली डिपार्टमेंट सेज दैट अगर कोई ऐसा बिजनेस है जिसके प्रमोटर्स जैसे कि प्रोप्राइटर, कर्ता इन केस ऑफ एचयूएफ, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर इन केस ऑफ प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी, और मेंबर्स इन केस ऑफ एनी एसोसिएशन, जो भी जीएसटी रजिस्टर्ड डीलर है, इफ एनी ऑफ देयर प्रमोटर्स हैव पेड मोर देन 1 लाख ऑफ इनकम टैक्स इन लास्ट 2 फाइनेंशियल ईयर. सो बेसिकली उन्होंने उनके जो भी इंडिविजुअल इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न्स फाइल किए हुए हैं, if they have paid more than 1 lakh rupees of income tax, then rule 86B is not applicable. So basically डिपार्टमेंट ये कह रहा है कि अगर कोई genuinely 1 लाख से ज्यादा इनकम टैक्स पे कर रहा है, then probability ऐसी है कि they will not be non genuine. इसके लिए हम लोग उन्हें रूल 86B से बॉदर नहीं करेंगे. Now next exception is that department is saying that अगर लास्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में आपका आईटीसी का रिफंड बिकॉज ऑफ जीरो रेटेड सप्लाईज, दैट इज एक्सपोर्ट और इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर. सो बेसिकली दो प्रोविजंस व्हिच एग्जैक्टली प्रोवाइड्स फॉर आईटीसी रिफंड, द अनअक्यूमुलेटेड आईटीसी रिफंड. अगर आपने बिकॉज ऑफ दिस प्रोविजंस 1 लाख से ज्यादा आईटीसी का रिफंड लिया है, देन दिस प्रोविजन इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल. एंड इट्स प्रिटी सिंपल दैट अगर आप बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट और इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर रिफंड के लिए जा रहे हो, then it's pretty obvious that your ITC balance will always be more than your GST liability. And as a result of that, paying 1% GST liability through cash makes no sense. That's why this is the second logical exception. And third exception is basically related to government bodies. So basically all those GST dealers or GST taxpayers who are either government, PSUs, local bodies, statutory bodies, to them rule 86B is not applicable. So it's again pretty simple that since purpose of rule 86B was to track down non-genuine dealers, it makes no sense to have this provision applicable to government entities itself. बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट ये नहीं कह सकता कि हमारी खुद की एंटिटीज ही नॉन जेन्युइन टैक्स पेयर्स हैं. सो ओवरऑल दिस वाज रूल 86B इन अ नटशेल. आई एम प्रिटी श्योर while filing our GST annual returns और as a consultants बड़े companies के annual returns या due diligence करते वक्त ये एक ऐसी provision है which we might miss on. So we just need to check that whether this provision is applicable to them. And while filing our GST returns, yeah, I pretty agree that 1% GST liability is quite a smaller thing, but this is one provision which we need to take care of. I hope, this session would have helped you to understand Rule 86B. And in a similar way, we'll keep on having multiple such sessions on other provisions of GST law. Thank you. Thank you so much.